Hey, what's up, guys? It is Jamie. I am doing a quick video on my way in this morning about cutting losses. Okay, it is Friday, August 26th, I believe, 2022 as I do this video. And I don't have a chart today. I mean, pretty much we're talking about stocks, options, cryptocurrencies, real estate investing, and self-investing, which all has a dividend to pay, right? One way or another. I'm going to talk about a stock I'm in to kind of like bring an analogy or illustration, is probably a better word, of where you have to kind of consider cutting your losses. All right, and this can go any way. This is just what I'm doing. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not a suggestion to buy, hold, or sell. This is really for entertainment purposes and for my friends, family, and my kids to kind of like just learn the journey, as I document this stuff. So the Fed is raising rates again, pretty much. I don't know if it's 50 basis points or 75, but all the information that's available, that's out there, seems to suggest we will continue to see rate hikes over the rest of this year. The video I just watched on Altcoin Daily, which is another channel on YouTube, I usually listen to them, not daily, but I'll listen to them throughout the week as I can, because they're usually only 10 minutes, roughly. There was a clip where somebody from Valkyrie, which is a larger company involved in investing in cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. The guy was saying, he was mentioning something about the tax rates going up another 400 basis points. Now, I don't know if he meant total or 400 more from where it currently is. It's possible. I'd have to do a little more research, but everything I have been hearing up to this point has suggested that it would be somewhere easily between 8 and 10%, because the inflation rate is around 8 or 9%. And usually, from what I understand, humbly, the rates have to match or surpass whatever the inflation rate is for it to bring it down. And this takes time, months, sometimes longer. So that's where we're at right now. That's what's happening around us and how it affects the market. So whenever you're investing in, all the wealthier people that I know keep suggesting, have your money ready, or just stand firm, right, and kind of weather the storm. Have your money ready, meaning like there's going to be opportunities to buy stocks, options, cryptocurrencies, real estate, right, things like that. And if you have the money or some money, you will be able to take advantage of these opportunities. If you're younger, hey, good for you, because time is on your side. The probabilities that you will outlive me is far greater, right, than I'm going to outlive you. And I don't mean that to be dark, but if you're 45 or 50 or somewhere in my, that's the gap that I'm in, and you're only 20 to 25, I mean, obviously you should have an extra 20, 25 years if you're taking care of yourself. And I don't just mean like eating right and exercise, but also like not putting yourself in dangerous situations, that could cut your life short. So my hope is that you live a long, prosperous life and are successful as God allows it to allow you to be. But I'm a big fan of probabilities, and the further I go and I pay attention, the more I'm like, okay, what's the probabilities of me winning or losing? That's what insurance guys do, right? Insurance guys come in, they calculate stuff, and they say, okay, like everything I'm involved in has stemmed around the auto industry for the past 20-something years. So if somebody has a car accident, an adjuster, right, or claims guy will show up to the shop, the body shop, the mechanic shop, usually a body shop. We'll have it towed in or whatever, and they'll assess the damage, and the value of the damage is like, oh, this is greater than the value of the car, so we're going to go ahead and total it, right? So they don't really care. They've already put money aside. It's just a matter of is it better to fix the car, or is it better just to go ahead and have a total loss, right? And then they move on. That's it. And they move on to the next one. Now, hopefully, the insurance company will have lots and lots of clients to help offset that loss, whatever it might be, whether it's fixing the car or a total loss. But nonetheless, they don't agonize over it. It's just business. They cut the loss and they move on to the next, claim, whatever it might be. All the while, people keep paying monthly a premium, right? Their monthly payment, thrown in the kitty, and and that's how everybody's affected. So it's the same thing with any investment, whether you're buying into a stock, like going back to Coinbase right now. So right now I have 235 shares, I believe, and I've been watching it, and it's been somewhere in the high 60s, in the mid 70s, right? And it had dropped down from 90. Now my average cost as I do this video is around $81 a share, so I'm underwater, a couple grand, value-wise, on those shares. I'm very patient. There's no urgency for me. My only thought is, okay, if I want to flip the money, I hate sitting on money, and there's nothing you can do if something goes another direction, right? Everybody loves when you're winning, regardless of which side you bet on. But if it goes in the wrong direction and you're losing, you're like, okay, my money is not in the green, it's in the red. You got to say, do I need the money? It's things I ask myself. Do I need this money? No, I don't want to lose the money, but like, do I need the money? No. If it went to zero, would I be okay? Yes. So I don't panic. If it takes 6 months to go to a 80 or 100 or 200, well, I don't think it's going to 200, but I think it could definitely go back to 100, 115. Can I wait? Yes. So I go through my list of things that are important to me, to my process. And you got to have your own process. I'm not a guru. I don't have the answers. There's plenty of guys out there that want to be right, men and women that say, I told you so. I told you that was going to happen. I told you it was going down to $60. I told you. Like, whatever it is, they love, when things work out to their favor, they want to tell you, I told you so, right? Like, that makes them, I don't know, like, validates them. I'm guessing, right? Because other than like Warren Buffett or a handful of guys out there, men and women, again, I'm not being biased or male or female, there's not a lot of people that are billionaires that I know of, right? That have the credibility to say, I told you so. There's a lot of losses along the way. People don't want to talk about the losses. They want to talk about their wins to validate that they're right. I told you so. Now, I don't want to be that guy. I'm not trying to ever say, I told you so. I can warn you because I don't want to be right. I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want you to be negatively affected. I mean, some things in life, they're unavoidable. You're going to get some turbulence along life, and you got to be able to kind of handle it. But certainly, I don't want you to make the wrong mistake. But not because I told you so. It's a warning, right? So with Coinbase, which is one of the many stocks and cryptocurrencies, I mean, that you could select. This is not a cryptocurrency. Actually, is an exchange that deals with cryptocurrencies, but it is a company, right, that is listed on the stock exchange. So I don't know the outcome. I don't know if it's going to drop to $40. It very well could. And I have to calculate those risks like an adjuster would. Okay, if it goes to 30 or 40 bucks, then the value of my stock is going to be much, much lower than what I'm into it for. Now I could dollar cost average in. I could do that and just wait it out, and I'm okay with doing that because I do believe that over the next year or two, cryptocurrency is the future. It is going to go forward. There are going to be more people using cryptocurrencies, whether it be Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana or Avalanche or all the different cryptocurrencies. I do think they'll be looking for exchanges that are credible, not falling apart And Coinbase is one of them that I think will be around. There's a reason why that BlackRock, the largest asset management company in the world, there's a reason that they're using them, right, mostly for Bitcoin. There's a reason, all right? They're not a $9 trillion asset management company because they are constantly getting it wrong. Nope, they've done their due diligence, and I'm pretty confident they know what they're doing more times than they're not. So I kind of look at that as a factor to my decision with what's going on there. But at some point, you got to cut your losses. You know, you got to say whether it is a stock, whether it is a person, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a friend, whether it's a family member, if they are not helping you to get to wherever you want to get, and it's not moving your agenda forward. And I don't mean to be selfish, but if something is hurting you, right, something that is holding you back, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, and the clock is ticking. Like, why would you want to immerse yourself in toxicity, right? Or why would you want to immerse yourself in a losing company? Why would you want to be involved in a piece of property that is always losing money? Like, if there's no way to remedy the property, right? If you say, well, it's a good location. Okay. Well, what do you got to do to make it profitable? Like, do you need to add a unit, a bathroom? You need to get rid of some tenants? Is there landscaping needs to be done? Need some upgrades, some roofing? I don't know. I mean, there's something that you need to do. And if you can't do it, if you can't get it done, you got to cut your losses and say, I'm going to let somebody else, this is out of my control. I'm not going to be able to get this thing done. Could be a person. I don't want to get into that thing, but if there's a person in your life that you're like, he or she is doing this thing, and let's keep it simple. Let's say I have a friend of mine who smokes, and I don't want to smoke, and they keep getting in my car and they light up a smoke, and I'm like, hey man, I don't want you to smoke in my car. And I'm like, don't worry about it. And I'll put the window down, right? And I'm like, no, that's not what I want. That's not happening. Even if I really, really like the person, right? Even if it's my wife or girlfriend or fiance or whatever, wherever I was, if I don't want to smoke, I would tell my partner, my spouse, I ain't smoking. If you want to do that, and if I can accept you smoking, great, but just don't do it around me. I don't want that in my face. I used to smoke, so I'm not judging you. I'm just saying that I don't want to smoke no more. And then you can carry that forward into anything, right? If it's talking a certain way, saying things that like if somebody said something and they think it's okay, you gotta speak up and say, I don't want you to talk that way around me, right? You don't have to be a jerk, but you gotta stand your ground, man. You gotta say, I don't like that, and I don't want to hear that. Don't say that to me. Even sometimes people are touchy-feely, right? They touch you and stuff. It happens a lot with women, where they're like, hey, I don't welcome that. You gotta speak up, and they may not like it. You could cut your losses and move on. So it could apply to friendships. It could apply to family members that might ask you for money, right? I don't know. I mean, there's so many different scenarios that you could play in here, but you got to make up your mind, and then it's not always a great feeling. I was talking to my daughter this morning, one of my daughters this morning, about feelings and emotions, and that's what kind of made me think about it. It's trading stocks or investing in stocks. And I don't mean day trading. I mean, like, if you're investing your money, hard-earned money, right? Whether you inherit it, whether you worked for it, however you got the money, you don't want it to go down. You want it to go up, or you want to at least apply it to the things that are going to help you. When you throw the money away, if your mind is thinking right, it hurts. It's bothersome. So I was thinking about Coinbase, and I was like, oh man, it's gone down. It's kind of sad. I was hoping to go up. And you get your feelings and emotions, and I do my best not to ever act on how I feel, because it's still human, right? You're going to have feelings and emotions. And my daughter was having a situation where she was getting really emotional about something, and I could see in her actions, she was demonstrating how she was feeling by her actions. And I was just trying to encourage her and give her some coaching, right? Some parenting, and just say, hey, I know how you feel, right? But sometimes when we act on our feelings and emotions, it doesn't always, work out the best. Sometimes we need to really think about it and make instead of just acting on our feelings and emotions. And I try to give her some scenarios of that myself. So when you're investing money and you see the stock go up or down, if it goes up and you're making money, or if it's going down and you're making money, you get excited, like, all right, woo, euphoria, this is awesome. And then you're either going to take some profits, right? Or just understand that those profits don't stand. They could go back down and you could lose it. And the same token, if it's down, you're like, oh, this sucks, I'm losing money. You can also be patient, right? Or take advantage and say, oh, this might be an opportunity to DCA, to dollar cost average in, if that's what you want to do. And then if I took my stock, which at the time was $90 a share, and I've DCA'd, right, into it where I'm now at 81. And I do want to be careful, right, because you don't want to just keep adding. I did that with another stock. It was called HBIL. I have 1 million shares of that company. I mean, granted, it was cents, like fractions of cents, but so don't think it's anything substantial. But I got a couple grand in there, and it's basically at zero. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that did not work out with that company. And I've cut my losses. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to sell the shares because they're not worth anything anyway. They're only worth a few $100. So there's no point in me I just wait and see, because you never know. Like, it could, down the road, months, years, something could change for the company and it might pay out. But I've cut my losses with that investment. And again, I like to use that for people, jobs, companies, things that you do that aren't helping you, things that you are investing your own time and energy in that are. Let me tell you one last thing, because I don't want to get over 20 minutes. I used to be, when I was younger, a gamer, right? Like, I used to love, like, what was it called? Age of the Empires, and I used to play another game with my sons. It was called Halo something, Wars, and Rainbow. I don't know. There's all these different Battlefield. There's these different games, and I get into it with them. It was fun. But I got older, right? And as I got older, I was just like, all right, this is kind of a waste of my time. Not because I think gaming is a complete waste of time. It's fun. You make friends and people make money with that, but I'm not, right? So I'm like, I have other things I got to do. So eventually I had to make a decision where I was just like, I enjoy it, but I'm kind of growing out of it and I'm getting older. That's not something I want to do, and I haven't done it in years. So once in a while I'll play like an app on my phone. If I'm laying in bed, I'll play some dumb game for a few minutes. But I try not to consume myself. I'll delete something if I think it's eating up too much of my time, because I'm like, what can I be doing that's more productive? And it might be reading something, listening to something, and I might fall asleep, listening to something or reading something. I don't read as much as I should, but I'm always trying to do something that's like, okay, I learned something that is helping me to be better. And you're cutting losses, and some of these things that you cut, you might actually enjoy, or it could be a food or somebody you really like, that's a friend or somebody that's not really, like I gave you the smoking analogy, but it might be something where it might not be fun to let it go, whereas other times it's easy to let it go. I'm not talking about bad habits. I'm talking about there's like some things that you're like, man, I really like working here. I like the people. The money's pretty good, but I just moved to a new house. I'm an hour and a half away. It doesn't really make sense, right? Like, staying at a hotel, the numbers don't make sense for me to do the commute. It just doesn't work anymore. And you got to make a decision. So making decisions is a part of life. They're not always fun. Some of them may be wrong, but you still got to act. Like doing nothing is not the answer. So anyway, that's my thought of the day. I hope you guys have a good Friday going into the weekend, and I'll see you next video. See ya.